There's a strange reason certain women can forget your face, but still melt when they remember the name you used for them. Because some names don't sound romantic, they sound personal. And once a woman feels personally seen by you, she starts emotionally returning to you in silence. That's the dangerous part. The first name is pretty girl, not babe, not baby. Those names are overused, empty, mechanical. But pretty girl hits differently because it doesn't just compliment her beauty, it softens her identity. It makes her feel feminine in a world that forced her to become emotionally guarded. And when you say it calmly, especially during moments nobody else sees, her brain starts attaching emotional safety to your voice. That's why she secretly replays it later, especially after an argument, especially after distance. Because women remember how a man made them feel during emotional tension, not during perfect moments. The second name is Trouble, and this one is psychological warfare disguised as flirting. Because when you call her Trouble, you create tension and desire at the same time. You make her feel emotionally dangerous, but desired anyway. That activates something deep inside attraction itself. Emotional contrast. She feels playful, wanted, unpredictable. And humans become addicted to identities they don't normally get to express. That's why she starts leaning into the role around you without realizing it. The third name is Angel. Soft, innocent, almost harmless. But psychologically, it's powerful. Because deep down, most people are exhausted from being misunderstood. And when you call her Angel during her worst moods, her mind starts associating you with emotional acceptance instead of judgment. That creates attachment faster than compliments ever will. And the fourth name, this one is different. This is the name most men never use correctly. The one that quietly lives in a woman's head long after the relationship dies. Name number 8 is the one almost every woman secretly loves hearing because it makes her feel emotionally irreplaceable instead of temporarily desired. And when you understand why that works, you'll start realizing attraction was never about chasing harder. It was about making someone feel psychologically unforgettable. The fifth name is Mine. And no, not in the obsessive way weak men use it. The psychology only works when it's subtle, calm, almost careless. Because when you softly call her mine in a quiet moment, something dangerous happens inside her mind. For a second, she stops feeling like she's competing for attention in a cold world and starts feeling emotionally chosen. That word creates emotional exclusivity, and human beings crave exclusivity more than love itself. That's why women remember the men who made them feel emotionally claimed without controlling them. There's a thin line between possession and protection, and emotionally intelligent men know exactly how to stand on it. The sixth name is Good Girl. Now listen carefully. This one is pure psychology, because attraction is deeply tied to emotional reward. And when you say good girl, after she does something playful, affectionate, or vulnerable, her brain subconsciously connects your approval with emotional pleasure. It's not about dominance. It's about emotional conditioning. That's why the tone matters more than the words. Cold words create distance. Calm masculine approval creates attachment. And once a woman emotionally associates your validation with safety and desire, she starts craving it without understanding why. That's how emotional dependency quietly begins. The seventh name is Princess. Most men ruin this one by sounding performative, fake, too eager. But when used sparingly, especially during moments when she feels emotionally overwhelmed, it creates softness inside her defenses. It reminds her that she doesn't always have to carry the weight of the world alone. And women rarely forget men who made them feel emotionally delicate in a safe way, because modern life taught her to survive. But deep attraction begins when she feels safe enough to stop surviving around you. Now the eighth name, the one almost every woman secretly melts for. The name most men are too emotionally disconnected to ever use naturally. Come here. Not technically a nickname, but psychologically, it's one of the strongest emotional triggers in attraction. Because it's not the words she falls for, it's the feeling behind them. Come here creates emotional gravity. It makes her feel wanted without begging, desired without performance. It carries certainty, presence, calm masculine pull. And women are deeply affected by emotional certainty, especially in a world full of hesitation, mixed signals, and emotionally unavailable men pretending they don't care. That's why she remembers the man whose voice felt like an invitation instead of a negotiation. A man who didn't chase her emotionally, but pulled her closer psychologically. And the terrifying part? Most attraction isn't built during love. It's built during emotional absence. The silence after the nickname, the memory after the touch, the replay inside her head when she's alone at night pretending she's moved on. That's where attachment really grows. The ninth name is my peace, and this one reaches deeper than attraction. Because most women are used to being desired for their beauty, their body, their attention, but very few are made to feel emotionally calming to someone. Very few hear a man look at them like they are silence after chaos. That changes everything. When you call her my peace, you make her feel emotionally significant beyond surface attraction. Her mind stops asking, "Does he want me?" and starts wondering, "Why do I affect him this deeply?" That mystery creates emotional pull, because the human mind becomes addicted to meanings it cannot fully explain, especially women who secretly carry emotional exhaustion behind their smiles. And when a woman feels like she calms your storms instead of feeding your ego, she unconsciously starts attaching herself to your emotional world. The 10th name is beautiful, simple, dangerous, timeless. Not because the word is unique, but because almost nobody says it with presence anymore. Most people compliment mechanically, empty words, predictable reactions. But when you say beautiful slowly during moments when she feels insecure, tired, emotionally distant, or vulnerable, it bypasses her appearance completely and touches identity itself. That's why timing matters more than vocabulary. A woman will forget 1,000 compliments given for attention, but she will remember the one that arrived exactly when she felt emotionally invisible. Because attraction is less about words and more about emotional timing. The 11th name is sweetheart, old-fashioned, soft, almost forgotten, which is exactly why it works. It carries warmth without trying too hard. There's something strangely intimate about it, like emotional protection wrapped in gentleness. And in a generation addicted to emotional detachment, warmth feels rare enough to become unforgettable. That's the irony of modern attraction. People pretend they want excitement, but deep down, they crave emotional safety they can trust. And the final name, the 12th one. This isn't just a nickname. It's emotional hypnosis when used correctly. Hey you. Sounds simple, doesn't it? But psychologically, it creates direct emotional focus. It feels spontaneous, personal, like your attention locked onto her in a room full of people. And attention is one of the strongest emotional drugs on earth. Because people fall in love with how visible you make them feel, not just seen. Visible. That's why certain women replay tiny moments in their heads for months. The way you looked at them, the way your voice softened around them, the private names nobody else used. And suddenly, your absence becomes louder than your presence ever was. That's the dark truth about attraction nobody talks about. People don't always miss the person. Sometimes they miss the emotional identity that person created inside them. The version of themselves that felt softer, desired, chosen, safe, dangerous, alive. And once you become connected to that feeling, you stop being a memory. You become a craving. And this is why silence becomes so powerful after affection. Because once a woman emotionally connects certain feelings to your voice, your absence starts speaking for you. Every nickname becomes a ghost. Every memory becomes a trigger. And suddenly, she's not just remembering conversations. She's reliving emotional states. That's what most men never understand. Attraction is rarely built through logic. It's built through emotional repetition. The way you consistently made her feel when nobody else was watching. That's why a random text from you can hit her harder at midnight than hours of attention from someone else. Because emotional memory doesn't fade normally. The brain protects emotionally intense experiences differently, especially the unfinished ones, especially the ones mixed with mystery. That's why emotionally unforgettable men are rarely the loudest men. They're the men who understood emotional contrast. Warmth followed by distance, attention followed by silence, softness mixed with certainty, not manipulation, presence. Because there's a difference between controlling emotions and understanding them deeply enough to leave an imprint. And the truth is, most women don't miss perfection. They miss emotional atmosphere. The feeling of hearing a certain name from a certain man at a certain moment in life when their heart was more open than they admitted. That's why years later, one word can still shake them. One nickname, one memory, one voice. And suddenly they're staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m., wondering why they still feel something they swore they buried. Because emotions don't disappear when relationships end. They hide. Inside music, inside silence, inside private names nobody else knows how to say the same way. So if you ever want to become unforgettable, stop trying to impress people endlessly. Start understanding emotional imprinting. Understand timing, tone, absence, warmth, mystery, because people forget faces faster than feelings. And in the end, the people who stay in our minds the longest are usually the ones who made us feel something we can't recreate alone.